Hello race fans, and welcome back here to the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series as we are live for one more night race at another short track. This is Richmond International Speedway and we are here for the Chevy Rock Roll 400. Now a lot of you remember that name for the Richmond race that used to be in the NASCAR Winston Cup. So as a special treat, we're going to have a whole bunch of SEGA drivers running some retro paint schemes, and we have quite a few to talk about. Like starting on the front row, we have Cody Llamas sporting the National Guard scheme from 2009 on the 88. In the second row, we have Qualls running the retro heavily on the number 42. In row 3, we have a real special couple of schemes. We got Cody Llamas in the retro dual tools on Matt Kenseth, and we have Derek Engel in the Terry Labonte colors for his number 5. There's quite a few to talk about here. There's Steven Gonzalez running Michael Waltrip's Napa paint scheme. We got Chris Darlington running the Nicorette car. I believe this was 2007, I believe. And we got Kyle Mathews running Mike Skinner's number 31, the old blue and yellow Lowe's colors. Quite a few to talk about. Let's see here. I hit the wrong button, fail there. There we see Alex Ferranti sporting the Super Chips number 99. There we see Michael Norman running the Budweiser on his number 8. And now we have James Shelley running the M&M's on his number 38. And further back here we have Chris Washer running the special Rockwell Automation colors on his number 20. And we have Joshua Collar running a special STP paint scheme on his 43 Dodge. And further back, we have a paint scheme that Paul Menard actually drove way back in 2003 on his number 27 car. Further back here, now we have Trent Dunham running the Coca-Cola that Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove way back in 1998 in the Busch Series. Back here we have Dillon Poteet in the Stanley black and yellow colors. And right here we have Joseph Lombard in the NOS Energy Drink colors that Kyle Busch drove in the Busch Series a couple years back in 07. And here we see William Duncan sporting the Mark Martin colors. And back here now we have Jake Rogers running heavily on a special number 28 as we're about to have those famous words.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, boys, just like we talked about in the meeting, what's going to pay off for us today is patience and consistency. Good, smooth racing on the racetrack, and that's what will take us up to the front. We'll be there at the end of this thing.
I realized I was a little bit slow coming back to the camera. I apologize for that. But here is your starting lineup for the Chevy Rock Roll 400. Tim Fiegel and James Qualls. That's our top 4 as the pace car is making its way into pit road. We're in for a pretty long one tonight, 40 laps. What will we see here as the green flag is now out here at Richmond? And oh man, they're not wasting any time. Nearly making it 3 wide. Tim Fiegel, he forces Cody Llamas on the outside, and he's trying to get the inside run. Tim Fiegel running a very special Mopar paint scheme for his number 9 as he will lead the first lap. And I'm shocked that we actually had a green flag lap here at a track like this. Fiegel clears the 88, but here comes Cody Llamas now in the 17. He's going to try to get ahead of this pack as we're having a small battle for the lead. And here comes Steven Gonzalez. He's being pushed by another blue and yellow car. That's Kyle Mathews. Making his way around Dillon the road. Here comes Skye Commons in the 41. He has his teammate Jessica Shelton right behind him. She just went up to the high side trying to pull up a crossover move, but didn't quite get it right. And I think we had a wreck. Is caution out? No, it's not. We're still going green. My mistake. I thought we had a wreck. Trying to get into the top 10 here. Now we see Michael Norman trying to get in. He just got past Shelton. As we now switch to the spectators camera, as we see that beautiful sun glare. Now we see Michael Norman getting to the inside of Dillon Thoreau. I believe he's trying to get into the top 5, and he's getting and oh boy, right behind him, we got some 3 wide racing back here. Here come the Red Bull boys, and oh man, there's still 3. Oh boy, there's still 3 wide back here. James Silverfox in the 82. Trying to have a small charge to the front, trying to bring his teammate Dougie Shears along with him. And here we see Dillon Young in the number 2. In this race last season, Dillon Young finished second to William Duncan. Running the Miller Lite paint scheme from I believe it was 2012 or 2013, I'm not sure. But he's getting around James Qualls as we head back to the front to check on the leaders. It's still all about Tim Fiegel. He still has no competition from Cody Llamas yet. Cole Dallas dropped back to 3rd, and there's a little bit of separation. Steven Gonzalez, he's hanging back and forth. Matthews is 5th. 6th is Skye Commons. 7th now is Silverfox. 8th now is Michael Norman. 9th is Dougie Shears, who's trying to get around Norman. And we're having a battle for 10th between Dillon Young and Jessica Shelton. And here comes Chris Washer now. Chris Washer in the number 20 running the Rockwell Automation, trying to bring Joshua Collar along with him, but he just got forced on the high side. As we now see James Qualls right in front of Dillon the road, and here we see Charles Sandfer, who is now 4th in standings. He dropped back to 4th after his run last week, but Charles Sandfer, he's gonna try to get back on top, and he's bringing last week's winner Danny Wells along with him, running the retro Dodge dealer colors with the lime green number font. And oh man, we had a little accident on the front straightaway, and I believe the caution is out. Yes, it is. The caution is out. We have our first caution of the night, and it involved Jackie Tang. Oh no. Jackie Tang sporting the Mobile 1 colors on his number 77 in lieu of Sam Hornish Jr. And oh boy, Charles Jackson, he's got some rear damage too at the back of his Sport Clips number 11. And now we see Noah Boggs on the inside. I wonder what's wrong with the 15. I don't know, but something happened between Charles Jackson and Jackie Tang. We're gonna have to find out what happened. Some guys are staying in, but Tim Fiegel, he's staying out. And I believe he's the only driver that is staying out. It would appear so. If he decides to pit on the next lap, he's gonna lose all that position. But anyway, let's see what happened to bring out our first caution of the night. We also happened to bring out our first caution. Heading into turns 3 and 4, it looks like Joshua Mudd came up onto the 78 of Eric Burton, and both of them came down right onto Charles Jackson and Trent Dunham. Now Charles, oh man, Charles, his car snaps loose, and Jackie Tang, he had nowhere to go. He just slams right in front of the 11 as Dunham and Burton, they head into the wall. But the worst of that was Charles and Tang in the 77. Trying to see if I can find a better camera angle. Yeah, the one car just came up on the 78, and Charles was already loose, and Jackie, he really didn't have time to react, and this 77 just goes straight into the wall, and that's a real tough break for all 4 of these guys. But Burton and Dunham managed to drive away, but I think Charles and Jackie, they're gonna have to go to the garage area to get that fixed. And here we are back at Richmond. We're going to restart on lap number 15. And it turns out that Sean Gallagher and Steven Gonzalez both took an extra pit stop, so they're both one lap down, but they should be up to speed. Now, after all that, Tim Fiegel, he's going to restart 38 because he came down pit road a lap later than everyone else. So that lead he had, it's now gone. Well, anyway, our new leader now is Cody Llamas. Second is Cole Daly. And third and fourth are teammates, James Silverfox and Dougie Shears. Fifth is Dillon Young. Sixth is Joshua Collard. Seventh is Charles Sandfer. Eighth is Jessica Shelton. Ninth is Michael Norman. And rounding out the top 10 is Chris Washer. As we're about to get back underway here. Green flag is back out in Richmond. Cody Llamas, he's keeping Sean Gallagher and Steven Gonzalez a lap down. He didn't give them a chance to even try to get their laps back. But now the question is, they're obviously not slow, but oh man, they're giving Cody Llamas some much needed insurance. As now we see Cole Daly, he's stuck on the outside, but he is running in the second position, but not for long. He's about to get passed by Dougie Shears now. The heated battle for second place, but they're gonna have to see if they can try to push Gallagher and Gonzalez, try to get past the 17 to get back on the lead lap, because right now the 17 is in charge right now. I'm trying to figure out the last time we saw the 17 car in victory lane. I believe it was the second it was either I believe it was at it was way back in season 2, I believe. It needs to come back to me. But Sean Gallagher, he's all over the back bumper of the 17. He really wants that lap back. We have about 6 car lengths separating first and second. Third back here is now Charles Sandfer, and I'm sorry for that lag there. Now we see Cole Daly. He dropped back to fourth, and we just had a battle for fifth between Michael Norman and Joshua Collard. Collard has now dropped back to sixth. Here comes Chris Washer now in the 20. He's being pushed by the Evernham boys, Dillon Poteet and Danny Wells. Let me tell you something. Dillon Poteet and Danny Wells and the Evernham stable, they both have been staying together for the last couple of races. They did this at Martinsville. They did it last week at Darlington where Danny Wells won. And now they're doing it here. Now they're both running in the top 10. They're trying to avenge their fallen teammate Tim Fiegel, who dropped all the way in the back. Here's someone that we haven't talked about, Garett Snydor. He started deep in the pack, and he's starting to get into the top 10 now. He's running the Scotch colors on his number 16. Garett Snydor here, he could be looking to try to get his second win of the season. It'd be his second win at a short track. Heading back up to the front, still no competition for Cody Llamas, but now we're having a battle for we were having a battle for third, but now it was just a battle between lap traffic. Cole Daly, he's trying to do whatever he can to try to catch Dougie Shears in the 83. Dougie Shears would love to go back to victory lane. He hasn't seen a checker flag in the first position since season 1 in the Budweiser shootout. How would it be for the 83 to do something here? And don't forget, these guys, they're still gonna have to come back pit roads sometime by, or if we have another caution. And oh boy, just as I say that, the yellow flag is out. We had a wreck in the front straightaway, and I bet Cody did not want to see that. We have our second caution of the night, and I think it involved P2 London. I don't know if anyone's on pit road. And oh boy, they're bunching up back here. Oh man, I don't know what happened. I don't see anyone on pit road, and I don't see anyone with damage. It must have been a single car spin, or it may have been the 27. I'm not sure. No one's coming down pit road this time by. Maybe they're trying to stretch it. I don't know. But we're gonna have to see what happened to the 27. And there's a little bit of damage to the 9 of Tim Fiegel. Well, here's having to brought out our second caution. This is the second caution that Charles Jackson has been in part of. And then just coming out of turn 4 and heading into the front straightaway, Charles just get right into the left rear quarter pounder of Tim Fiegel, and then that brought him down right onto P2 London, and that just sent both cars just sliding down the front straightaway. So Charles, he brought out this one. I don't think Sports Clips is treating him right tonight. Maybe he should go back to March of Dimes, Tim Fiegel scrapes the wall a little bit, and then London, he also gives a little tap to the number 9, but that really could have been more worse. But oh boy, I don't think Tim's gonna be too happy with that 11 car when this race is over. Here we are back at Richmond. We're gonna restart on lap number 28 with 13 laps to go. This may be Galligan and Gonzalez's last chance to get back on the lead lap. No one came down pit road, but now the question is that this race may come down to green flag pit stops if we don't have another caution. Cody Llamas is still the race leader. Second is Dougie Shears. Third is Cole Daly. Fourth is Joshua Collar. Fifth is Dillon Poteet. Sixth now is Michael Norman. Seventh is Danny Wells. Eighth is James Silverfox. Ninth is Chris Washer. And rounding out the top 10 is James Qualls. A lot can happen in 13 laps. I don't know if these guys are gonna regret not coming down pit road, but we're about to get back underway, and the green flag is out. And oh man, Sean Galligan got a much better start than the last restart. And oh boy, he's on the inside of the 17, and him and Gonzalez, they're gonna try to push ahead. Now Petrie London, he's also a lap down, so he may be a factor in all this. But right now, Galligan and Steven Gonzalez, they're getting their laps back as Cody Llamas, he's stuck on the outside, but look who's coming up on the inside in the second place, Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet, he's coming to the inside now. He's trying to get to the inside of the 17 for position, and he's using the 27 as a drafting buddy. Dillon Poteet in the number 10, he had a chance to win a race last week, and oh boy, Tim Fiegel came down pit road. Oh boy. Does this mean that green flag pit stops are happening right now? But right now, Poteet with the lead, and Llamas is right behind him. Nobody making any communication for pit road just yet, as Poteet right now he's getting under the 27 to put him back a lap down. And oh boy, look who Dillon Poteet is pushing. He's pushing his good buddy Steven Gonzalez, but Cody Llamas, he's not gonna take this line down. And here comes Danny Wells now on the inside. He's trying to get into the top 5. He wants to go 2 in a row. We went 2 in a row last season. It was here in Talladega, which is which I believe is the next race. It was with William Duncan. Could we see it happen here again? As Cody Llamas, he's trying to get under Petrie London, but he can't quite get there. There's a lap car separating him and Poteet. Time is slowly running out as Cody Llamas, and oh man, he is stuck behind the 27. And Danny Wells, he's trying to come back here. After his win last week, he jumped up to 6 in points. As we now switch to the spectators camera, still no cars coming down pit road as Poteet, he's still hanging on to that lead, but Cody Llamas, he's gonna try to chase him down. Both Dillon Poteet and Cody Llamas are trying to get their first wins of the season. And oh boy, caution's out. The yellow lights are out. We had a car go around back there, and the caution is out, and that is not what Poteet needed to see. The yellow flag is out, and Poteet is the race leader, and Sean Galligan is back on the lead lap. Sean Galligan back on the lead lap. Third is now James Qualls. Fourth is Wells, and fifth is now Shears. And we have to see what happened. Oh boy, it may have been Levi McIntyre that went around, as he just gave a nudge to Trent Dunham for some reason. I don't know. And Tim Fiegel, he came down pit road earlier, so I don't know if this is strategy. I mean, Fiegel, he's still on the lead lap, but he did come down pit road already. This may be strategy. I don't know. But still, no cars are coming down pit road. Oh boy. Oh boy. And we had a yellow flag with 6 to go. I think this may come down to a green-white checker. I'm not sure, but we're gonna have to check and see what happened to bring out our third caution of the night. Well, here's what happened to bring out our third caution. This was a heated battle to try to get into the top 15. It looks like Levi McIntyre just got into the left rear quarter panel of Ian Dutta, the points leader. Dutta manages to save his car, but McIntyre, he couldn't. His wheels just locked up, and then he just slides passenger side into the wall. His right rear quarter panel hits it. Now that may have been just a single car incident, but that was still enough to bring out the caution. Real tough break for McIntyre. He was really on a good run tonight. He nearly gets sideswiped by the 56. And here we are back at Richmond, and we're gonna restart on the final lap. This is only gonna be a one-lap shootout, and I was really hoping for a green-white checker. But I'll take what I can get. Our leader is Dillon Poteet, and he has 2 lap cars separating him in second place, which is Cody Llamas. Third is James Qualls. Fourth is Danny Wells. Fifth is Dougie Shears. Sixth is Michael Norman. Seventh is Cole Daly. Wow, I couldn't talk for a second. Eighth is Dillon Young. Ninth is Garett Snydor. And rounding out the top 10 is Dillon Thoreau. Dillon Poteet, he could be closing in on his first win of the season, but don't forget, no cars came down pit road, and anything can happen. What will we see here as we just take the green and the white flag? We're having a battle for second place. James Qualls, he's on the inside of the 17, and we're having a battle between the lap cars, but that doesn't matter right now. Dillon Poteet has just jetted off, heading into turns 3 and 4. Going to the spectator's camera, and no! He's coming to pit road! No! He's coming to the pit road, and it's a battle for the win! Oh man, and I think, oh boy, oh my god, I'm speechless. James Qualls! James Qualls has done it! James Qualls just won the Chevy Rock Roll 400, and he just captured his first, oh my god, he just captured his first ever Sega Cup Series victory. And oh boy, Shawn Henley just wrecked. Oh my god. I'm speechless. I did not see that coming. And William Duncan ran out of gas. Oh boy, I was afraid this was coming to pit strategy, and Steven Gonzalez ran out of gas. They're pushing the 55, but oh man, we just had a heated battle for the victory here, and James Qualls came out on top. He is the winner of the Chevy Rock Roll 400, and we're gonna have to go to some replays here. Okay, here is a replay of the final lap because I was just too much in the excitement. Dillon Poteet was pulling away. He had about 5 or 6 car lengths ahead, and he had P2 London and Steven Gonzalez separating him. But heading into turns 3 and 4, he was making an indication for pit road, and I guess he could not make it. You see that he's slowing down, and he is coming straight in. Yeah, Poteet could not make it. And here was the battle for the win right here. And oh man, P2 London, he actually ran out of gas right in front of the 42. He actually ran out of gas out of the 42, and this is where I actually caught it. A lot of guys came down pit road, but it all came down to this right here. And here is the margin of victory right there between the 17 and the 42. Wow. Just barely half the length of a hood. Oh man, the 42 has gone to victory lane. James Qualls wins the Chevy Rock Roll 400 and barely beats out Cody Llamas, who dominated the second half of this race. And I gotta say, oh man, I have no idea where Poteet finished. I think, yeah, I have no idea. Cole Daly stayed out, Dillon Young stayed out, as well as Jake Rogers. But there is Poteet. We have to see where Poteet crossed the line, because I have no idea where. He officially crossed the line in, I'm trying to see where. He crossed the line in 6th place. He crossed the line in the 6th position, so he still gets a top 10. But, oh, man, I just cannot believe that. Real tough break for Poteet there. He was so close in capturing win number 6 on the all-time list. And Shawn Henley back here, he ran into the pit road barrels. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I think he actually had help. I don't know. I think he got slammed by Eric Burton. Did he? Yes, he did. Coming to pit road, he got slammed by Eric Burton, and that's what sent him around. And Eric Burton, he came to a stop back here in the 78 car, but he still manages to keep going. But oh man, Henley, he was trying to get to pit road, but he still ended up hitting the water barrels, and that probably cost him a lot of positions. I wouldn't be surprised if he finished 36th or 37th. We're gonna have to get word from the official standings here. And oh man, Eric Burton, he gave a little hit to the barrels as well. But oh man, real tough break for Poteet, Henley, and a lot of other drivers. Well, here we are back up here in the Sega booth, and yes, the standings are indeed official. James Qualls has won the Chevy Rock Roll 400, barely beating out Cody Llamas by nearly 2/100ths of a second. That's how close it was. And apparently I thought Poteet crossed the line in 6th, but once all the standings got calculated, he actually finished in 23rd. So I don't know what happened there, but we have to go by the official standings, and they did say that Poteet was scored in the 23rd position, so we have to go by that. Jake Rogers ends up 5th place after starting in dead last. His teammate James Shelley ends up 6th after starting deep in the field. So pretty good run today for Yates Racing. Joseph Lombard 3rd in standings. That'll really help him out. He ends up 7th. Chris Darlington ends up 8th. Skye Commons 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Kyle Mathews, who's 8th in standings. Charles Sandfer 4th in standings ends up 11th. Seth Cole ends up 12th. Charles Jackson 13th. Trent Dunham 14th. And I'm not even going to go by the retirees. Dougie Shears ends up with a top 15. Then we see Michael Norman, Dillon Thoreau, Joshua Collard, James Silverfox, and Derek Engel. That's the top 20. Then we have Jessica Shelton, Alex Ferranti, Poteet, as I already mentioned. Joshua Mudd and Zach Hamlin rounds out the top 25. Then we have Levi McIntyre, Danny Wells, Sean Galligan, and Chris Washer with a tire issue. I don't know, but okay. And then Dakota Hughes, he rounds out with a top 30. Points leader Ian Dutta, he had a 3-point lead over Dillon Poteet, but both of them had bad finishes. I mean, Ian Dutta, he ends up 31st. Eric Burton ends up 32nd. Garett Snydor 33rd. James McLeod 34th. And Rohit Vedarvu, that's the top 35. Then William Duncan, he actually ran out of gas on pit road. Shawn Henley ended up 37th. Noah Boggs is up 38th. Steven Gonzalez, he was still a lap down, as well as Peachy London and Tim Fiegel. They all finished deep in the pack. And then we all know what happened to Jackie Tang after his incident with Charles Jackson. But oh man, a pretty wild and wacky race here at Richmond International Raceway. I bet Jackie Tang and Tim Fiegel aren't gonna be happy with Charles. I mean, Charles was a part of 2 cautions, and he still ended up finishing 13th ahead of both of them. so that may be like a bittersweet thing to them. But I bet there's one guy who doesn't really care. And he's out celebrating. James Qualls in the 42 catches his very first Second Cup Series victory here at Richmond. And next week, I believe we're going to Talladega, and we know where anything can happen there at Talladega. Will we see the big one? I don't know. You're gonna have to tune in and see. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Congratulations one last time for James Qualls for winning the Chevy Rock Roll 400.